up, like 15 centimeters like this, and we were flying it, and I would just bring the kite in front of it and just put the kite on the bamboo frame and leave, and then come back, and the kite come back with still just pressed on the frame of Philip's kite.
Now, what's the story with this guy who's over there? Yeah.
What was it? It's a good flower, so it's easy to make them do whatever you want. It's a 4-line kite, so you can really position the kite where you want. So we got the same picture with the kite upside down or on the sideways, because it's easy for photo, because you can bring it close to a tree or close to a cliff, and then you can have good photo.
But
this is Florence.
One of the things that fascinates me about you is that you see in kite builders and other places, these kite builders are so precise about everything for their revs and that, and yet when we see yours, like,
it's not important.
Yeah,
it's not,
exactly. But yet it works.
That's not what it's important. Other things are important.
Yeah.
Just the painting, the thing, and as you see, they're not symmetrical, so they don't react the same on both sides. But for me, it's okay. It's like a puppet. It's not reacting exactly, or riding a bicycle pulls on one side. You can still go straight, but it does pull on one side. But it's for me, it doesn't matter, because it does the performance. It's more like being able to make a tableau in the sky with the landscape, with other kite, with the scenery.
So
this is in Florence.
So with these, if you were able to fly a rev, you couldn't necessarily fly these.
Yes, but you have like a 5 minutes time for a reaction to find out, oh, this pulls more on one side than the other, it spins faster on one side than the other, but at some point
it has to be intuitive. Yep. You can't think quick enough.
No, not
right.
enough.
Okay.
Not me, anyway. I think what's funny, this was in Florence, and then it's a nice place, and it's really touristic. It's not the real one. The real one is in the museum, but it's maybe a kilometer away from the museum. It's a very famous place, and there's a lot of people, a lot of tourists, and a lot of carabinieri, the police people. So, and they're all checking us, pulling the kite together, and looking, they're all funny, and then I have to go like, and there was no way I get tangled on this, it'd completely a big problem. I think I would have been jailed for that. So I have to be very surgical, don't touch the statue.
So you were that close, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
that reminds me, I flew Kisa's Sea-Doo outside the Louvre, where the pyramids are, and it just swirls around. So the police were watching me, like with you, very closely, and then I finally got the shot where it was there, right at the point, and then they came over and said, "Excusez-moi, monsieur, entrez." Yeah.
That's a plaza.
Too funny.
In Siena, so it's an enclosed place. It's not a place for kite, but just got the kite up. And
was the wind very much trouble?
Yes, because there was kind of no wind at all, because it's all a circle. It's a place where they have horse races inside the city. It's like a triangle place. And it's very, very famous for years and years and years. And it's 3 times a year they do that race, and it's very nice, very touristic place. But it's a nice place. 3 of them. So that was kind of, and the best thing is that we live in those farms, because they're big farm, and then when they have harvest, I think they have like 20, 25 people working at that farm. But then the rest of the year, those rooms are empty, and then so they rent the room for tourists like us. So, but at night, it's not like a restaurant. It's just like one big table with all the workers and the kids, and so there's 20 people there, and they bring food and table, and bring wine. They bring
and more wine, and more wine.
And there's kids running around. So you're just in the farm with the people. So perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect, and food is very good. So that's why we're touring the countryside and then living in those.
This picture always inspires me because where I live, you see this all the time.
And
I want to take some kites out there and do it, but it's already been done. But so inspires me.
Yeah, it's in Tuscany.
Because even without that, that's still an interesting shot with the shadows
And then, as I told you, it was not interesting to have just a kite in blue sky, because blue sky here and blue sky over there, it's the same. So we need the landscape all the time, and that was interesting. Funny place to fly kites in les carrières de marbre de Carrara. But and that's good thing with
all three of you.
Kite and Philip. So those places, people live there for thousands of years. It's the middle of Italy, so they grow wine, olive, or heat for the pasta.
The cat was unusual to me. I hadn't seen much of yours.
It's Claudio's.
Oh, Claudio's. Okay, because it didn't seem like one of your designs.
Yeah.
Now, was this done around the same time as the?
Yep.
Do you name your artwork?
Not really. I never really done that. Yeah. But I can repeat the story about this one because we're riding, following each other, the two cars following in the countryside, and then Hans is the photographer, is the one who would decide where we take photo, what's the best place, and it's according to the light. So it was kind of getting dark, and then he stopped the car and said, "Hey, here, you need to put your kites up. We need kites in the air. The light is beautiful and it's going. Hurry up!" I say, "Hans, we can't put. No, now, hurry up, hurry up." We put the kites again. "Hans, we can't fly kites. We're in the forest." And he said, "No, put the kites up." Okay, and then we put the kites up and then just bring them up just a few meters and then down, because it was in the middle of the forest. But that makes good photo. They were not flying for a long time, but that makes good photo.
At least you didn't have to worry about the police chasing you out.
Yeah, well, so I'm gonna show you the sky. There's only one place that's a sketchbook.
Oh, is that your sketchbook?
Yes, that's one of my sketchbook.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sounds like a groupie, but that's amazing.
That's you can see things that are like sketchbook, male, big hand, but then on this photo, this little tiny kite, you get about the same kind of person. So that's one sheet, but there's many sketchbook.
Be interesting to see this sketch sheet of that kite.
I should have because I always do sketch before.
Yeah, I don't mean to go look for it, but it'd be interesting to have that as a perspective.
It's a long time ago because you see yours. It's made with dye. I was painting with dye.
Okay.
And it was a strange process because when you paint it, it's exactly the right color when you do it, and then with the dye dry, then it get kind of brownish, muddy brown, so you don't exactly know where you're at. And then there's a process of fixing it with the steam, and then the color come back bright and the right color. But at some point you don't exactly know where you are because it kind of all the same brownish color. But then with the process of fixing the dye to the fabric, then it becomes blue and red and orange and whatever. But
do you have to backlight that as you're painting it?
Pardon?
Do you have to backlight it when you're painting?
Not really,
no?
because it's a the fabric is kind of white and transparent. But now the other kites that you've seen around here, they're painted with acrylic, just more like normal paint.
But that one was alcohol ink, or what kind of ink? Or
It's acid dye.
Acid dye. Okay.
Dye. For silk and nylon, that's what they use acid dye.
Is there anything I should keep in mind about preserving that?
No, as long as you don't keep it in the sunlight. The sunlight is not very good for.
Okay.
And most of those that are dye instead of paint, it's worse.
Okay.
Sunlight is worse for the fabric with the dye.
Well, John Tranopole was the only one that let fly that in the last 13 years.
Well, it's
And there might be one or two more, but it's just such a piece of art.
the other one is much softer. It's not the same. I use another fabric, and it's hard to keep its shape because it's really soft fabric.
And it's shorter?
I think yes. It's a 3.5 meter, and this is a 5 meter.
Wow.
Well, yeah, some are not well lit because I don't know, they changed the lighting and then the sun are not exactly lit as they were at the opening.
Yeah, and that